Alright, guys, today I'll be reviewing Hershey Park. This is an incredible park. In fact, it's my new favorite amusement park, and I'll explain why in this review. My first visit here was back in 2013, and I wasn't really tall enough to do anything. So then I went back in 2017, got everything done, but I don't really remember much from then. Went back in 2021, but for Christmas Candyland, so really didn't do a whole lot besides Candemonium there. But then in 2023, just a couple weeks ago, I went back and it was phenomenal. And it was on Easter Saturday, like the day before Easter. So I was extremely impressed at how they handled the crowds. I got almost 20 rides in that day, which is extremely impressive for the day before Easter. This place has a kind of weird parking lot. You're going to start off kind of away from the entrance. You're going to have to take a tram to get there or just take a pretty long hike. It's kind of like Six Flags New England's, although definitely not as bad as Six Flags New England's, but still keep that in mind. But once you get into Chocolate Town, that's a phenomenal front entrance area. The gate itself looks nice. You got Candemonium in front of you, and just all the shops, they all look so nice. Plus, you got Chocolate World to the right, and this line moves so quick. Do not be scared if the entrance line is massive because it flies. You do not know how quick you are going to go through that entrance line. It's probably the fastest entrance that I've seen. So now let's talk about this world-class coaster collection. You have just phenomenal coasters, top to bottom. This might be the lineup with like the most depth. I do think Cedar Point's lineup is slightly better, but this one's also phenomenal. You got Sky Rush, my number 3 coaster overall. Incredible airtime, great intensity. You all know Sky Rush. Comet, this PTC Woody that I think is the most underrated coaster I've ever been on. Incredible airtime, just that classic wood coaster feel. What's not to love? You got Storm Runner, a bit underwhelming from what I thought it was going to be. I definitely think King Ka is still my favorite accelerator, but it's still a great ride. And then Fahrenheit, that's a really fun ride, good beyond vertical drop. Actually, surprising positive G's. I was not expecting those positives on the Norwegian loop, even on the Cobra roll. Candemonium, I do find really overrated. I personally think it's the worst B&M hyper out of the 6 I've done, and that includes Apollo's Chariot. All right, so I've done a pretty bad one, and Candemonium's worse than it, so I'd call it pretty overrated, but it's still fun. You got Great Bear, a fun B&M invert. Lightning Racer, a nice dueling GCI, so 2 credits there. Jolly Rancher Remix, a really fun version of a boomerang. It's got the vests, it's got really good theming. It's probably this or Speed of Sound for the best themed boomerang. And then you got Super Duper Looper, an old Schwarzkopf looper, great intense vertical loop, and a pretty lackluster layout after that. You got Laugh Track, a Mauer spinner in a box. Trailblazer, an Arrow Mine Train, and then Wild Mouse, and then Coco Cruiser, a kiddie coaster. So, yeah, this lineup is stacked. You got incredible family coasters all the way up to incredible Scream Machines. It really doesn't have anything it's lacking. I mean, maybe an extreme spinning coaster would be nice here. I know people have said a dive. I really don't like dives, especially with the vests, so I'm hoping they don't get that. I'm hoping for a Mach Extreme Spinner, I think, here. But before we get that, we've got Wildcats Revenge also coming in 2023. I'll hopefully be at King Size Preview Day for that because, oh man, that thing looks good. That's definitely going to be the second best ride in the park. I don't think it's going to beat Sky Rush, but hey, who knows? The flat rides here are all right. They don't have a whole lot. They got the Claw, which, I mean, it's an average pendulum ride. Triple Tower is actually pretty fun. I remember the Reese's side being crazy, like one of my favorite drop towers of all time. Apparently, they nerfed it, which kind of sucks, but Hershey Tower is still like a normal S&S tower, and Kisses is a smaller version of that. And I'm assuming Reese's is now somewhere in the middle now that they nerfed it, apparently. You got Reese's Cup Fusion for a dark ride. Now, I haven't ridden this because the line has been ridiculous for this thing every time I've been, but from what I've seen, it doesn't really look too special. I definitely think like the Justice League dark rides look better, so I wouldn't waste my time waiting in line for that. So that kind of sucks that they don't have a better dark ride, but they do have a dark ride in Chocolate World that looks pretty good. And then you have a bunch of observation rides. Skyway, I didn't ride it because it was closed, but it looks incredible being over the hollow. Kissing Tower is an amazing one. You get a whole view of Hershey, and it's just definitely the best observation ride there, I think. You also got that Ferris wheel, which, again, I haven't been on because I haven't bothered, but it looks nice. Now, let's talk about the food. The food here is incredible. Like, I don't think it's quite Knoebels level, but it's still amazing. I will admit, the only food item I had this last visit was one of the king-size shakes because I was focused on the rides because I only had one day. But this king-size shake, it's something, let me tell you. You're not finishing it if you're just getting it for yourself. You're going to need a few people to help finish this. I got the cookies and cream one. It had chocolate-covered pretzels, had this brownie cupcake thing. It is crazy. And the milkshake itself is incredible. Definitely the best milkshake I've had. It is quite pricey, though, so watch out for that. I think it was like $18 or something for that and like a drink someone got. I know my dad had like a really good brisket by Storm Runner. There's a barbecue over there that I've heard is really good. They have good-looking hot dogs over by Fahrenheit. They've just got incredible food, and of course, the desserts don't stop at the milkshakes, all right? I should have gotten like the cookies, the donuts, all of that stuff, which I probably will get throughout the season and try, but for now, the king-size shake is incredible, and I'm assuming everything else is. So definitely get some food while you're at Hershey Park. Don't do the starve yourself throughout the whole day like you would at a Six Flags park. And now let's talk about the reason why this is my new favorite park, above Cedar Point, Busch Gardens, Williamsburg, you name it. It's the atmosphere. This might be the best park atmosphere ever, and I know that's definitely a hot take, especially compared to, again, Knoebels, Busch Gardens, Williamsburg, Disney, but hear me out. You've got the lively amusement park atmosphere with roller coasters flying all over, especially in the Hollow, is definitely my favorite area. I mean, I feel like there's coasters everywhere you look, like even more so than Cedar Point. And then on top of that, you got that small park atmosphere, that Knoebels, and I feel like it's really a combination of Knoebels and Cedar Point, which are two incredible atmospheres that are very different, and Hershey Park combines them perfectly. And I couldn't have asked for a better atmosphere. There's really no theming, but it's just so nice to walk around. You have all the coasters flying on top of you, and then you've also got just these woods. You got the creek, and it's so peaceful while like so exciting at the same time, I guess is the best way to put it. I don't know. You really have to be there to feel it, but trust me, it's an incredible atmosphere. So overall, my final score for this place is going to be a 1,000 out of 1,000. It's pretty much a perfect park, especially when it gets Wildcats Revenge. It's got the Ultra Elite Standout Coaster with Sky Rush. It's going to have a disgusting supporting cast after Wildcats Revenge. Like, probably the best supporting cast of any park in the world. Incredible food, and, of course, a phenomenal atmosphere that really can't be topped by many parks. So this is my review of Hershey Park. Let me know what you guys thought about this down in the comments below. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.